ultra-detailed satellite view of a heavily damaged Russian military base after a precise Ukrainian strike. Burned-out vehicles, black smoke marks, destroyed structures, scattered debris. Cyber warfare interface overlay with neon blue targeting grids, holographic data panels, digital coordinates, thermal hotspot indicators, futuristic surveillance UI, high contrast, realistic textures, dramatic lighting.
High above the riverbanks near Kherson, reconnaissance drones from the 61st Marine Brigade swept silently across the water. Then, Movement BT-40 and KT-FPV drones launched like predators released from their tether, racing toward the unsuspecting target. The impact tore into the watercraft itself, erupting in a violent splash. Across multiple sectors of the front, drone units delivered a series of powerful and precise blows. Near Seversk, FPV pilots of the Yug Group intercepted an attempted delivery of material to Ukraine army positions, striking supply points and enemy shelters packed with personnel. Further north, Zapad Group operators targeted the Kupiansk area, where their FPV drones destroyed a Senator armored vehicle along with several other pieces of Armed Force of Ukraine hardware. At the same time, the Vostok Group's UAV specialists located and eliminated field ammunition depots in the Dnepropetrovsk region, cutting deep into enemy logistics. And in the Krasnoarmysk direction, the Molnia 2 strike team from the Center Group's 1st Separate Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade delivered a direct hit on a Ukraine UAV command post, crippling drone operations in the area. Powerful strikes hit energy facilities across Kyiv, plunging parts of the capital into heating, electricity, and water disruptions. Local reports indicate that close to 30 strike UAVs continue hammering the city as the assault unfolds. One ballistic missile crossed the Kyiv region and struck Uman before moving toward the Cherkasy area. At the same time, a major drone attack targeted an industrial site in Chuhuiv, where an administrative building caught fire. Authorities say no casualties have been recorded yet, but the scale of the damage speaks for itself. On the right bank of the Dnieper River in the Kherson region, the quiet of the terrain hid a secret, a camouflaged Armed Force of Ukraine command post tucked carefully beneath layers of foliage and netting. From afar, the D-30 howitzers of the Guards Airborne Troops Formation from Ivanovo stood ready, their barrels angled toward the concealed position. The first round thundered out, tearing through the sky before crashing into the hidden post. Out in the open field, the wind swept across the grass as the Grad MLRS crew of the Dnieper Group of Forces moved into position. Every motion was deliberate, every sound measured. In the distance lay their target, a concentrated cluster of AFU manpower and hardware deep in the Zaporozhye region. Somewhere along the front in the Dnipropetrovsk region, the calm of the early hours was broken as a Tornado-S multiple-launched rocket system crew from the Vostok Group of Forces rolled into position. With a thunderous roar, the Tornado-S unleashed its payload. Rockets streaked across the sky like burning spears, descending on the stronghold in a cascade of explosive force. In the Krasny-Liman direction, TOS-2 Tosochka crews of the Zapad Group moved into position and unleashed a series of devastating strikes. The blasts rolled across the battlefield with overwhelming force, tearing into enemy positions and leaving their defenses in disarray. Meanwhile, in the Krasnoarmysk direction, the Center Group brought in the TOS-1A Solntsepiok heavy flamethrower system. With a single thermobaric strike, it obliterated a fortified armed force of Ukraine's stronghold, reducing the defensive point to smoldering ruin in a matter of moments. Near Kupiansk, the night turned into chaos as Ukrainian units attempted to break through under the cover of darkness. But waiting for them was the 68th Division of the West Group of Forces, already entrenched and ready for the assault. As enemy armored vehicles and trucks pushed forward from Petrovka, they walked straight into a wall of fire. Above them, pilots from the 68th Motorized Division circled like hunters in the dark. Every attempt by the enemy to approach Kupiansk was spotted, intercepted, and obliterated. a strike hit the Slovyansk thermal power plant, setting the facility ablaze. It was targeting a site in Nikolaevka, a settlement in the DPR still under Ukrainian control. As a result, the Slovyansk-Kramatorsk agglomeration has begun experiencing widespread power supply issues. Nothing escapes the advance. The Russian Ministry of Defense has released new footage showing the liberation of Danilovka in the Dnipropetrovsk region. The video highlights how assault units pushed through the settlement with overwhelming force, chasing down anything the enemy had left on the ground, anything that moved in the air, and anything that tried to flee across open terrain. The advance was fast, coordinated, and unforgiving, sealing full control over the area as Ukrainian positions collapsed under pressure. Do you see that? An airstrike reportedly hit Ukrainian military positions in Velikomikhaylivka, in the Dnipropetrovsk region, in the latest escalation of the conflict in the area. From the air, the UAV operations of the Russian Armed Forces' central group near the village of Shakovo in the Donetsk region revealed a tense and dynamic battlefield. Through the drone's camera, rows of buildings and open fields could be seen, forming movement routes for both sides. As the UAV reached its operational altitude, a sudden flash of light appeared at one of the ground fortification points. Several seconds later, a wave of explosions spread out. From above, the blast pattern looked like bursts of light scattered among the defensive lines, marking the areas of the most intense clashes. The UAV operator continued monitoring from a safe distance, capturing the subsequent detonations occurring around the trenches and defensive positions. Watch the drones dominate. In this epic compilation, FPV operators reveal exactly how the battlefield has changed, where the drone itself has become the primary weapon for hunting down enemy positions and destroying equipment. The Phobos crew of the 70th Division, part of the 18th Combined Arms Army, showcases a string of precise strikes on armored vehicles, pickups, NRTK system. Every hit is clean, direct, and decisive, capturing the brutal efficiency of modern drone warfare in motion. How do you hold a settlement when armored steel is ripping straight through your defensive lines? See this. Fighters of the 5th Tank Brigade of the 36th Army, operating with the East Military Group, smashed through Ukrainian positions and forced their troops out of the settlement in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Russian forces surged 3 kilometers deep into the enemy's line, cracking open trenches and fortified blocks with overwhelming firepower. In the clash, nearly a full company from Ukraine's 154th Brigade was wiped out, alongside 12 armored vehicles. More than 150 buildings were swept and cleared as the advance rolled forward, leaving no doubt about who controlled the battlefield. No escape, no mercy. Fighters of the center group of forces continue their relentless pressure day and night, targeting Ukrainian infantry and equipment with unbroken precision. Strike drone operators support the advance by hitting priority targets the moment they appear, ensuring the momentum never slips. The footage reveals a harsh list of Ukrainian losses as cars are torn apart, APCs and AFVs disabled, Bogdana guns smashed, HPK shelters cracked open, antennas and Starlink terminals destroyed, Kozak vehicles wrecked, and fortified positions wiped clean. Every strike strips away another piece of their combat capability, tightening the noose around their defenses. That's all for today's update. Thanks for watching, and don't miss our upcoming videos.